Hey kids, welcome! I'm Belle, this is my classroom. Welcome to another super fun and colorful video. Today is actually not a very normal video for me to post because first of all it's Tuesday and I post on Fridays, but where I live in a country that has more holidays throughout the year than America or than the UK. So where I live today is actually Teacher's Day. So if it's Teacher's Day where you live, please give this video a thumbs up and put in the comments below who influenced your life the most, like what teacher made you who you are. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, because I put a new video every single Friday. Sometimes I put extra videos like this one throughout the week, so make sure to click the bell so you receive notifications every time I post a video. And without further ado, let's go right into the video. Alright, so a little bit of a backstory before we dive into the video. When I was little, I mean not only when I was little, but throughout my whole school life, I studied in a total of 11 schools. I know that's a lot, but I come from a family who didn't have a lot of money, and I've always been to private schools. I was a student who got usually like straight A's. I was a really good student, and I put a lot of effort in everything that I've done. I'm not here to say that I was amazing at everything, because I wasn't. I just put a lot of effort into everything I've ever done. So my mom, every end of the year, she would go to different schools and she would bring my report card and she would show them, and she would ask for a discount basically. So that's why I studied in a lot of schools, because of that. If they offered me a big discount or a big scholarship, that's where I would study for that year. So that's why I decided to make this video, because I met many different teachers throughout my school years, throughout my life basically. So I chose 3 teachers. Like I was like, okay, let me think of the teachers who made like the most difference in my life, and the first 3 names that I thought of were the names that I decided to bring into this video. So the first one, the first teacher who I thought was actually a teacher of mine in preschool. Her name was Jane. She was Miss Jane, and oh my god, she was so nice. She was awesome. She was, I know this is like it's 2019, so nowadays maybe it's not that big of a deal, but like back in the day, she was the very first black teacher to work at that school where I studied in preschool. And so that was awesome. Like she was so nice, so amazing, so sweet. And I'm mentioning her, you guys are probably like, okay, preschool, like, but she was so awesome. And I believe to this day that she was one of the reasons why I decided to teach children, because she was really nice to all of the children. She actually used some behavior techniques and discipline techniques that were very positive and beneficial long term. She was all about not putting on the spot, and like to this day, I kid you not, to this day I use some of her techniques. I think back to when I was in preschool and I'm like, okay, she did this or that in this or that situation, so I use some of her techniques. If you watched my videos on techniques to calm children, I should credit her in that video, because a lot of those tips were from her. And if you haven't watched that video, please do, because that video is awesome and it works for me and it worked for her back in the day and it still works. So that's why I feel like she is a very She was a very strong woman as a person, because I can only imagine like what she had to deal with on the daily basis, being like the first black teacher in that school. So she was absolutely amazing and I loved her. I wonder where she is now, because she was absolutely amazing. And Miss Jane, if you're watching this, hi, I'm a preschool teacher, probably because of you. So, I mean, maybe it's not 100% because of her, but she definitely influenced me to make that decision, because she was absolutely fantastic and children loved her. We loved her. I mean, I still remember her to this day. So Miss Jane is number one. Number two, it's not a preschool teacher. This teacher is actually from 7th grade. Her name is Miss Indra. Miss Indra was a literature teacher. She used to teach literature and theater. So she is the one who gave me like love, absolute love and joy for theater and for art. So she was amazing. Again, I wonder where she is. I have no idea. I should look them up online to see where they are now. But she was amazing, and she, like, funnily enough, like, I'm talking about teachers who like made a difference. So again, the Miss Jane was a black woman and the first black teacher where I studied, and Miss Indra was the very first teacher that I can remember who would speak about LGBTQ plus community, and she would talk about it with such respect, and so, like, she would inform us, she would educate us both in literature and theater. She would educate us, and she was amazing. She was a true educator, because she was not only a teacher, she was an educator. She would educate us like for life. She was the first and probably the only one, at least the only one who I can remember, who shed a light on such important subject. So she was amazing. Like, she is a teacher I will never forget. And like up to this day, I'm still like a very amateur actress, so I credit that to her, because she was my theater teacher in 7th grade, and she would do that with like she would do that amazingly. She was awesome and I loved her. She would help us to be creative and to write texts and scripts and even songs. She would play the guitar. She would take the guitar to class and play songs, and like those, I remember like very clearly that like her classes, like both literature and theater, they were both creative classes, and we had a lot of creative freedom in those classes. So again, she changed my life for good. My third teacher was a teacher, she was a high school teacher. My second year of high school, or my first year? Yeah, it was my junior year in high school. I'm getting a little messed up because again, I went to 11 schools. So she was my teacher when I was a junior in high school, and she was absolutely fantastic. Her name is Miss Sylvia. Miss Sylvia was awesome. She was my, again, like two subjects, the same teacher. She was a geography teacher and also an art teacher. She would give us like so much space to talk about ourselves and who we are. She helped us find who we really are. I remember we would have like trust exercises, and we would like go outside, and I remember very specifically that again, I've always been like an amateur like actress, singer and contortionist. So I remember one day we went to the patio, and like we had to be in pairs, and it was me and my best friend at the time. It was like, okay, you are in pairs now, so you have to teach each other one thing that you know how to do and that the other person doesn't. So I taught her how to do a cartwheel in the patio, and she taught me to draw something because I'm not a very good drawer. I try to draw, but I'm actually really bad. I put a lot of effort, but I'm actually really bad at drawing. But she taught me how to draw, and I was so excited about it. She taught me how to draw I think it was a doll, like a very famous doll at the time, and I forget her name now, but it was a really famous doll, and I was so excited to learn how to do it. And she was constantly like saying that we should share and we should have like a community spirit, and she was awesome for that. I remember we, like in our art project, she always told us to not sign our names in the project because she wanted to find out herself and who the projects were, and she always did. She always found out who the projects were, and that was amazing. Like, she really made a big effort to know who we were as people, and not only as, you know, students, as a number. No, she really cared about us, and that she's probably the teacher who made us feel the most as individuals. Again, I have a video on that. Children are individual, not only children, students in general, people in general, they are individuals. So if you haven't watched the video yet, please go and watch the video. It's amazing, and again, it's because of her that I talk about those things constantly, because she made a big difference in my life. Like, I kid you not, she would treat us so in such a special way. She would treat us as individuals and as special people. She would always make us feel special, and she was amazing, both in geography classes and in art classes. So again, whatever you teach, doesn't matter. You can treat your students as special as they are because they are special, they are individuals, and they deserve to be treated as such. Alright, so that was it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it's a little bit of a different video for me to make, but I received so much knowledge and so much creative freedom and so much, just so much from those teachers. And I have a lot of other stories from other teachers, so if you want me to share them, please make sure to subscribe, click the bell, give this video a thumbs up, click the bell so you receive notifications every time I post a video. Share this video with your friends, because I feel like, especially in these like political climate that we're living, I feel like these things need to be talked about and shared more. So subscribe and share this video, and I see you next week for a brand new video. Bye!